G'day team, it's Chris speaking. Welcome back. Today we are doing the second to last episode of FTM Sex and Intimacy, where we talk about sex and intimacy while you're in a transmasculine transition. Now, quick content warning for everyone out there. This is a series around sex and intimacy, as I've said twice in this video. If you're not comfortable with talking about those sort of things because it's dysphoria inducing, it may be an idea to click away or save it for a time when you do feel comfortable and come back to it. So what I want to talk about today is including your partner. Now, I know that there are other videos by other transgender YouTubers out there who will tell you that communication is key, and they're 100% correct. But talking to a partner whilst you're feeling dysphoric and not really sure of how your body is feeling or if it's going to change moment to moment can be really hard. But those lines of communication need to remain open, not only for you but for your partner. Sex and spontaneity are no longer a thing. At least they weren't for me. Sex had to be planned. It had to be something that happened when both parties were feeling okay and up to it, because of the dysphoria induced mind games that the brain plays on you. So it came to a point where it would be a question: are you okay to do this now, or should we try again another time? And I've stated before that, sex basically came to a standstill for me, and it did for many months, and sometimes those dry patches still happen because dysphoria is a thing. Bottom dysphoria doesn't affect me a great deal, except when it comes to sex and intimacy. And I think that, might be the case for a lot of other transmasculine people. What do I mean by including your partner? I mean actively including them on the communication. So when you're feeling okay, tell them, like, hey, if you wanted to be close, today, that would be cool. I'm feeling okay today, and keep in mind for partners as well that may change on a minute to minute basis. Basically, it definitely has for me in my relationship with my fiance. It means that in the bedroom you are keeping that communication open. What is okay? What is not okay? Where are your lines drawn? What is okay for one moment may not be okay in the next. What is okay in the moment to completion may still cause a dysphoria-induced panic attack. There were times when my partner and I were intimate in a certain way, and then immediately after it would make me feel weird because I didn't think that my body was meant to be used in the way that it just was, and I needed a moment to, be by myself and to think about it. Now, there were times when I did that, when I did not communicate that to my partner, and it ends up making them feel shitty because they feel like they've done something wrong. They feel like they have caused you to have this dysphoric episode, and if you're not communicating that to them, it can hurt them as much as your brain is hurting. So it's important to keep that line of communication open, and just, even it's as simple as like, I just need to process, can we talk about it later? And then go and do your thing. It just gives them an indication that it's not their fault on what's happened inside of your brain, and that you will talk about it later. As well as I do, if you've had any sort of dysphoric episode, that sometimes it is not the easiest thing to do to open up, particularly when you're in it and you've got that feeling that your skin doesn't fit and you just need to knot for a moment. But it is important that if you are with someone, that you try and respect them as much as possible by just letting them know where your head is at, even if that means like, can't talk about it right now, I'll catch you later, just need a minute to sit with my thoughts. It also means that involving your partner in terms of ways that you are intimate, and I'm talking about things like toys and just items that make you feel good. It may even be to a point where you're not touching each other, but you're still in the same room and, being with one another. Include them in on that so they still feel like they're being intimate with you. And there are items out there that can help transmasculine people. There are items out there that can help transfeminine people. I'm not very educated on the latter, but I know that for myself there are products that, you know, Rachel and I have tried together because we chose them together, and we thought that this might be a way that, you know, we can be intimate together, which is great. Some of them are total flops and they do not work, and some of them have been okay, and some of them you just sort of laugh about at the end of the day, and that brings you closer together in and of itself. So all I want to drill home in this video is that you are in a relationship, even if it is you that's going through the dysphoric episodes, and yes, it can be hard to open up to people, but it is important to make sure that your partner is on the same page, that they're included in it, because it is going to affect them as much as it affects you if it is a change in dynamic that you've had. Particularly, like in my case, sex was so different between us when I wasn't identifying as a trans man versus after medically transitioning, and then at each spot along the way, as I was talking about in my developing dysphoria video, dysphoria focuses on different things at different stages of a medical transition, and now my dysphoria does focus on how my lower half is being used, and it's different to even a year ago when I just had top surgery and everything was cool, or different to when I was on testosterone and the brain sort of shifts and comes along with you, and completely different again to when I was identifying as a lesbian and I, you know, seemingly was using those parts of my body, even though I was uncomfortable. I just was using them because I thought that was how they had to be used, and that mind shift. So just keep your people, and by your people I mean your people that you're intimate with, informed of how you're feeling. Don't disregard their feelings. If they, you know, if you do have to go away and you don't speak to them, and if they feel shitty about it, don't, or try not to attack them for it, because yes, you are feeling bad and dysphoric and it's hard to verbalize those things, but it's not their fault that you had to go and be by yourself. And that's the thing I really want to drill home in this video, is that if after the fact or if during you need to stop, and you stop without any sort of communication to your partner, they're not going to feel great, and just try and take into account their feelings as well once you've dealt with your own, because I know sometimes it's easier said than done to say you need to make sure that they know that it's not their fault. But include your partner in sex and intimacy. It can be really fun to explore a new world at each stage of transition with a partner, as much as it can be dysphoria inducing. That's it from me, guys. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of it, then click on my face. If there's anything that I've missed in this series that you want me to go over, or another video that you want me to make, then do let me know in the comments below, or my Instagram is always open if you've got questions, and I'll catch you next time. Okay. Bye.